Okay, good morning dear students. Today I am going to discuss about the theoretical aspects behind the rotational spectroscopy, otherwise called microwave spectroscopy. Okay, we can start with the rotational, otherwise called microwave spectroscopy today. That is, as I have mentioned, the rotational spectroscopy or microwave spectroscopy is that spectroscopy that deals with the transition of the molecules between two rotational levels induced by the absorption of radiation in the microwave region, okay, or the frequency 1 to 100 centimeter inverse. Okay, that is microwave radiation is of the order of wave number 1 to 100 centimeter inverse. So the process of inducing the transition of a rotational molecule means usually gaseous molecules. Okay, the gaseous molecules have the rotation energy. So the process of inducing the rotation of the molecule, gaseous molecule, between its rotational level by the absorption of micro radiation or the wave number 1 to 100 centimeter inverse is called rotational spectroscopy, otherwise called microwave spectroscopy. Okay. Usually, the molecules in the gaseous states have well-defined rotational energy levels because they are well-resolved rotational energy levels because molecules are free to rotate about the center of gravity only in the gaseous state. The case of solid or liquids, since they are condensed state, the rotational energy are not much resolved, so the rotational energy states are not well defined. So the usual practice is that the rotational spectra of only gaseous molecules are studied to analyze the structure. Okay, or this I would say the microwave spectroscopy, otherwise called rotational spectroscopy, is used to study the structure of the gaseous molecule by analyzing its rotational structure or rotational energy. Okay. So once again say the rotational spectroscopy, otherwise called microwave spectroscopy, deals with the transition between the rotational energy levels of the molecule induced by the action of absorption of microwave radiation lying the wave number 1 to 100 centimeter inverse. And I have mentioned the essential conditions. So usually gaseous molecules are studied by this, structure of gaseous molecules are normally studied by the spectroscopic techniques. The essential condition for a molecule to be rotational microwave active or to undergo transition, rotational spectroscopy, rotational transition but essential condition, that is the most rigorous condition or most rigorous selection rule is that the essential condition for a rotational transition is that the molecule should have a permanent dipole moment. That is the condition, essential condition. Only those gaseous molecules which have permanent dipole moment only on rotation about the center of gravity can only produce a change in electric dipole, change in polarity or change in dipole moment, thereby producing an oscillating electric field. And this oscillating electric field only can interact with the oscillating electric field of the micro radiation, thereby absorption can occur. Rotational spectra produce all molecules sadhyamalla. You can say that simply a molecule is rotating and never is a condition for micro spectroscopy, otherwise called the rotational spectroscopy. Only those molecules which have permanent dipole moments, which on rotation give rise to, or which on rotation produces an oscillatory electric dipole. Okay. Otherwise, a non-polar molecule having no permanent dipole moment whose rotation is producing no effect in the microwave field is just like a deaf and dumb molecule. Okay, സംസാരിക്കാൻ കഴിവില്ലാത്തൊരു മോളിക്യൂളാണ്. അതായത് വെറും ഒരു ഡൈപോൾ മൊമെന്റ് ഇല്ലാതെ, പെർമനന്റ് ഡൈപോൾ മൊമെന്റ് ഇല്ലാതെ ഒരു മോളിക്യൂൾ ഇങ്ങനെ കറങ്ങുക എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ അതൊരു ഡഫ് ആൻഡ് ഡംപ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള മോളിക്യൂളാണ്. അതിന് നമുക്ക് ഇലക്ട്രിക്, അതായത് മൈക്രോവേവ് ഇലക്ട്രിക് ഫീൽഡുമായിട്ട് ഇന്ററാക്ട് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള കഴിവ് ഉണ്ടാവില്ല. ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു മോളിക്യൂൾ ആണെങ്കിൽ ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് എ നോൺ പോളാർ മോളിക്യൂൾ. ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് എ നോൺ പോളാർ മോളിക്യൂൾ. ഓക്കെ. So this rotational center of gravity produces no effect. But if it is a dipole, a polar molecule, plus or minus, and this molecule on rotation about the center of gravity will produce an oscillatory electric dipole. Okay, it will produce an oscillatory electric dipole just like this. Plus, minus, plus, minus, plus. And this, thus, a molecule with a permanent dipole moment on rotation produces an electric dipole, or it goes an oscillatory electric field. And this oscillatory electric field can interact with the oscillating electric field or the electric component of the microwave radiation, and thus interaction occurs. Then it absorbs, and the molecule therefore undergo transition between the various rotational level. So you consider any molecule having no permanent dipole moment, that is non-polar molecule, is said to be a duff and dumb molecule with respect to microwave radiation. So it is said to be microwave inactive. So only permanent dipole moment molecule, only the molecule with the permanent dipole moment, that is called a polar molecule, is said to be microwave active. So all the polar molecule with the permanent dipole moment are microwave active. Polar molecule with permanent dipole moment are said to be microwave active. While non-polar molecule having no dipole moment is said to be microwave inactive. So this is condition. So this is called the essential condition or most rigorous selection rule for spectroscopy. Only those gaseous molecules which have permanent dipole moments, which can produce only an electric oscillating electric dipole on rotation, can interact only with the microwave radiation. Then it is said to be microwave active, while all non-polar molecule, which is just a duff and dumb molecule, is cannot interact with the electric field of the microwave radiation, as it cannot produce any electric field. ഇതാണ് നിങ്ങൾ അറിഞ്ഞിരിക്കേണ്ടത്. ഇനി നമുക്ക് റൊട്ടേഷണൽ എനർജിയെ കുറിച്ചാണ് നമുക്ക് പഠിക്കാനുള്ളത്. സോ റൊട്ടേഷൻ ഓഫ് എ റിജിഡ് rotor. Okay, what is a rigid rotor? It's a diatomic system in which the two atoms are considered as a two spherical body of mass m1 and m2 connected by means of a rigid bond, such that during rotation the bond is assumed to be constant. The bond is not fluctuating, or bond is not, the intermolecular bond length does not change, or the bond is said to be rigid. So a two body which are connected by means of a rigid bond is said to be a rigid rotor. Consider a ideal diatom molecule as a rigid rotor, so that let M1 two atom connected by means of two atom mass M1 and M2, and is rotating about its center of gravity C. A point C, that is called center of gravity, is rotating, and its mean equilibrium distance is R. The mean equilibrium internuclear bond length is R. From the point R, this is it is R1 along M1 and R2 along M2. So let us consider a rigid rotor molecule rotating about its center of point, or center of gravity, or center of mass C, so that the distance is R1 towards M1 and its distance is R2 towards M2. So that the equilibrium distance R is equal to R1 plus R2. the system is assumed to be a rigid rotor because the bond length is not changing. There is no change in the bond length, or the bond is not fluctuating during the rotation. Okay. The moment of inertia produced by the rigid rotor model is, according to the concept, we have the equation, that is at the center of mass system. That is at the center of mass system, we can a famous equation. Okay. I is equal to mu r square എന്ന് ഡിറൈവ് ചെയ്യാൻ പോവാണ്. അത് ഡിറൈവ് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി ഉള്ള പെട്ടെന്ന് ഞാൻ പറയാം. So we have the condition R1 is equal to R1 plus R2. The center of mass system is such that that is R1 M1 R1 is equal to M2 R2. അത് മനസ്സിലാക്കുക. For this rigid rotor model, the point C is such that M1 R1 is equal to M2 R2. Your condition you must like this equation number 1, this equation number 2. The moment of inertia of such a system, molecular system, I is equal to M1 R1 square plus M2 R2 square. That is the equation. Or in the equation of split here, that is M1 R1 plus M2 R2 R2. So you replace M1 R1 by M2 R2 and M2 R2 by M1 R1. I will do a tactic. Replace M1 RG equation. Applying this equation number 2, we can replace M1 R1 by M2 R2 and replace M2 R2 by M1 R1. So we have M2 R2 R1 plus M1 R1 R2. Okay, that is equal to common factor. That is equal to R1 R2 R1 R2 into M2 plus M1 plus M1. But replacing this equation, R2 is equal to R by R0 R1 plus R by minus R1. So replacing this equation, okay. So replacing R2 from this equation, R2 in equation substitute. Therefore, I is equal to that R2 is equal to R1 R minus R1. We have I is equal to okay. That is M1 R1 is equal to M2 R2. Equation substituting this in equation 1. In equation 2 like M1 R1 is equal to M2 R2 is R minus R1. That is equal to M2 R minus M2 R1. So that is equal to M1 R1 plus M2 R1 is equal to M2 R. That is equal to R1 into M1 plus M2 is equal to M2 R. So therefore we can R1 is equal to, you have R1. From this equation, R1 into M1 plus M2 is equal to M2 into R. Therefore R1 is equal to M2R divided by M1 plus M2. So this is one of the equation. We have the equation number like this. R1 is equal to M2R by M1 plus M2. Similarly, R2 is equal to M1R by M1 plus M2. We have the two equations. R1 is equal to M2R by M1 plus M2 and R2 is equal to M1R by M1 plus M2. Then reducing this R1 and R2 in this equation, or first equation, like I ലേക്ക് സബ്സ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യാം. Introduce this equation I is equal to m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square എന്ന ഇക്വേഷനിലേക്ക് നമ്മൾ സബ്സ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ okay, substitute this equation here. Therefore we have the I is equal to we have I is equal to m1 r1 square means okay, r1 square is m2 r by m1 plus m2 the whole square plus m2 into r2 square is m1 r by m1 plus m2 the whole square. ഓക്കെ, ഇക്വേഷൻ നമ്മൾ വളരെ പെട്ടെന്ന് റീഅറേഞ്ച് ചെയ്യാം. റീഅറേഞ്ച് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നിങ്ങൾ ബാക്കി കാര്യങ്ങൾ നിങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യുക. m1 m2 ഇതെടുക്കുക, m1 m2 ഹോൾ സ്ക്വയർ അപ്പോൾ ഇങ്ങനെ വരും m1 m2 r സ്ക്വയർ into n2 plus m1 എന്ന് വരും. ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് ഈക്വൽ ടു നമ്മൾ ഇത് കട്ടായി പോകണം. So we have the equation m1 m2 r square by m1 plus m2 എന്ന് കിട്ടും. Where the term, so I is equal to, so we have I is equal to I is equal to m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 into r square, that is equal to mu r square. So we have the final equation I is equal to mu r square. So for a rigid diatomic rotor molecule, we have I is equal to mu r square. I is equal to mu r square, where mu is equal to m1 m2 divided by m1 plus m2. ഈ സിസ്റ്റത്തിനെ സംബന്ധിച്ചതാണ്. Where r is the equilibrium distance, m1 and m2 are the atomic mass of the two atom present in the diatomic molecule, and this is called reduced mass. ഇതിനെയാണ് reduced mass എന്നറിയപ്പെടുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾ അറിഞ്ഞിരിക്കേണ്ടതാണ്, for a rigid diatomic system, the moment of inertia arising from its rotatory motion, okay, is I is equal to mu r square, where mu is equal to m1 m2 by m1 plus m2. അതായത് ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു. ഇനി നമുക്ക് ഇതിൽ നിന്നും സെക്കൻഡ് പാർട്ട് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് എനർജിയിലേക്ക് പോവാണ്, റൊട്ടേഷണൽ എനർജി. So first part കഴിഞ്ഞ് the B part, we have to calculate the rotational energy of a rigid rotor. The rotational energy of a rigid rotor we have to derive. Okay, the rotational energy of a rigid rotor, that is, a rigid rotor when rotating about its center of mass, okay, about a point about the center of gravity or center of mass, it is produced with an angular momentum omega. The angular momentum, okay, there's an angular momentum, okay, it has an about the center of gravity with an angular velocity omega radian per second. It produces an angular momentum L. Supposing that a rigid rotor is rotating about its center of gravity, okay, when rotating about with an angular velocity omega, radian per second. Omega is the angular velocity. Then the angular momentum produced by the rigid rotor is the angular momentum L is equal to I omega. This is the equation provided in the in order to derive the rotational energy, you have to first calculate the angular momentum arising from the rotational motion. If omega is the angular velocity, then the angular momentum arising from the rotational motion of the rigid rotor model is, rigid rotor is I omega, where I is the moment of inertia, omega is the angular momentum. Then the angular momentum L, according to quantum mechanics, is condensed by the condition. The angular momentum, the angular momentum ആണ് the angular momentum. Yeah. The angular momentum is condensed. The quantum mechanics condensed by the condition that L should be is equal to square root of J into J plus 1 into H by 2 pi. The angular momentum is condensed by the quantum condition or restricted by the quantum condition that L should be is equal to square root of J into J plus 1. J is called rotational quantum number. Rotational quantum number whose value is 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. In a rotational quantum number in the 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay, you have to so the angular momentum L is condensed by this quantum condition, equal to J into J plus 1 H by 2 pi. And the rotational energy EJ is equal to half phi omega square. Half phi omega square. So the rotational energy, angular momentum of the molecule is I omega, and angular momentum is condensed by the condition square root of J into J plus 1 H by 2 pi, where J is the rotational quantum number 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. and H is the Planck's constant. And therefore the rotational energy arising from this motion is EJ is equal to half phi omega square. Then what you have to do? Replace this. Okay, I omega square replace here. That is, or EJ is equal to half I square omega square, multiplying this by I. So multiply the numerator and denominator by I, then the equation is half I square omega square by I. But you know that I omega is L, so that is equal to I square omega square is L square by 2I. So we have EJ is equal to L square by 2J of half L square by EJ is equal to L square by 2I, or EJ is equal to half L square by I. So we have the equation. Rigid rotor model we have the equation EJ is equal to rotational EJ is equal to half L square by J by I square by I. But what is L square? By introducing the quantum condition for the angular momentum. We have EJ can have now only definitive values. EJ can have the rotational energy level. Rotational energy can have only definite rotational level, rotational energy value condensed by this condition. So that is equal to L square. When you put it to L square, that is equal to J into J plus 1 into okay L square. അപ്പോൾ ഇത് നമ്മൾ ഇതിലേക്ക് L സ്ക്വയറിലേക്ക് പകരം L എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് എന്താണെന്ന് നോക്കാം. L is H by അപ്പോൾ H square by 2 ഉണ്ട്. ഇത് 4 8 pi square I ഇതിങ്ങനെ വരും. So we have the condition. ഞാൻ ഒന്നുകൂടെ എഴുതാം. Now EJ is equal to, reducing the value of quantum restriction there, EJ is equal to H square by 8 pi square I into J plus 1 joules. This is our rotational energy. Now the rotational energy of the molecule now become equal to EJ is equal to H square by 8 pi square I into I h square by 8 pi square I j into j plus 1 joules എന്നാണ് കിട്ടുന്നത്, where j is called the rotational coordinate number. So depending on the rotational coordinate number, j is value 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. We have the rotational energy or we have the rotational energy levels. Okay, rotational energy j is equal to 0, first rotation level 0, second is okay h square by 8 pi square 1 into 1 plus 2. Okay, അങ്ങനെ വരും 2 h square by അങ്ങനെയുള്ള രീതിയിലേക്ക് പോവാണ്. But remember the rotational energy in the case of any energy system, okay, the energy is, it is a practice in spectroscopy. It is practice in the spectroscopy to represent, express energy not in terms of joule. ജൂളിലല്ല നമ്മൾ എഴുതുന്നത്. നമ്മൾ റേഡിയേഷന്റെ എനർജി നമ്മൾ വേവ് നമ്പറിൽ പറയുന്നത് പോലെ തന്നെ ഇവിടെയും എനർജിയെ നമ്മൾ വേവ് നമ്പറിലേക്ക് മാറ്റുക. So converting that energy in joules to energy in wave number, you have the famous equation that is h nu is equal to E. In our equation, or h into c. Okay, h into c by lambda. H c by lambda. H nu is c by lambda. That is equal to h into c into nu bar. So E in our equation compute nu bar is equal to E by HCR. That is general equation. So introducing this equation here. So converting the energy in joules to the most common that is wave number that is usually adopted in the spectroscopy. So spectroscopy, converting in the spectroscopy, the energy is expressed in terms of wave number nu bar. So we have nu bar is equal to Ej by Hc. So if you have Ej h square by 8 pi square I Hc j into j plus 1 centimeter inverse, that is equal to that is h by 8 pi square Ic h square by Ic j into j plus 1. Okay, square it is h square then 8 pi square Ic h square by നമുക്ക് എഴുതാൻ പോവാണ് h by നമ്മൾ ഇതിലേക്ക് മാറ്റാൻ പോവാണ് h by 8 pi square Ic, the term h by 8 pi square Ic, that is equal to, or this new energy term nu bar is equal to Ej by Hc now represented by nu bar, അതിനെ നമ്മൾ വിളിക്കുന്നത് epsilon j എന്ന് വിളിക്കാം. That is epsilon j, that is called rotation energy term എന്നാണ്. That is epsilon j is equal to this b into j into j plus 1. ഇതൊന്ന് പഠിക്കുക. This is a very famous equation. So the rotational energy term epsilon j, or that is called nu bar j. ഇങ്ങനെ വിളിച്ചോളൂ. The nu bar j or epsilon, കാരണം nu bar എന്നുള്ള നമ്മൾ റേഡിയേഷന് വേണ്ടി കൊടുക്കാൻ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നതാണ്. ഇവിടെ e bar j എടുക്കാം. So the rotational energy term e bar j, that is equal to nu bar j, equal to h by 8 pi square Ic j into j plus 1, or that is equal to b into j into j plus 1, where the constant b is called rotational constant. B is equal to h by 8 pi square Ic, that is called a rotational constant എന്നാണ് അറിയപ്പെടുന്നത്. This term is called rotational constant, the constant. Okay, so വളരെ മനസ്സിലാക്കുക. So we have the equation that is nu bar j or epsilon j is equal to bj into j plus 1, that is called the rotational terms, and the b is called h by 8 pi square Ic. is h by 8 pi square Ic is called rotational constant എന്നാണ് അറിയപ്പെടുന്നത്. So the rotational energy terms are E bar epsilon j is equal to Bj into j plus 1. And the rotation energy in joule is, this is in centimeter